All right. Super sorry. Super sorry. Partially my fault, partially circumstance. But here we are. No, I'm not getting the fires lit. But that is, I would love to have that had been the actual thing, because that would have been somewhat hilarious for me to show up with a literal campfire right here. One of these days I'll live up to the name of these little chats that we have every week, and we'll actually have a real fire. How about that? That would be cool. That's good. This is one of the reasons why. Priorities, people. Gateway Gamers here. Sam has to stop hitting snooze and wake up. Yeah, I know I'm late, Timon. I know. I do get up. Burn the house down? No, I'm not going to burn the house down. Good night. How do, Sam? I do well. Thank you, Kabuki. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Barry's here. Thank you for being here. David's here. Thank you. And I know I say that flippantly, but I do appreciate you guys showing up. I really do. Because I love the sense of community that we've got going on here, and that is very awesome. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Hitting snooze and waking up. I woke up this morning at 7 a.m. And I know that's not early for a lot of people, but that's normal time for me. Usually between 6:30 and 7 is when I actually wake up. Yes, I do hit the snooze button every once in a while. I think I actually rolled out of bed at about 7:20, 7:25, something like that. Pardon me. But so yeah, I've already done the grocery shopping. I have started working on another, putting together another list. I have been on. I've been talking and chatting with one of our pastors from church this morning. I picked up breakfast for my son, who is on spring break, but I decided to surprise him. We usually just make something here at the house, but I picked up some steak and cheese bagel for breakfast for McDonald's. What? When did McDonald's start doing steak? I don't know. So that was a pretty cool thing. So anyway, I didn't pick myself something up. I ate my regular yogurt, 2-gourd yogurt with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and a half a cup of Catalina Crunch cinnamon toast cereal. So I got my 35 grams of protein for breakfast in this morning. This is my second cup of coffee already. That's not saying anything at all. All right, see here. Fire chat. Yeah. David Brownlee, you could just have a fireplace video running in a picture-in-picture. I know, that just seems cheesy. And I don't do cheesy. Yeah, right. Everybody knows that's not true. Q Talking Heads. That is correct. Let's see here. Okay, that's it. I'm going to have to write you up. All right. Fine, Eric. You do that. Write me up. Put it on my tab. It won't be the first time. Let's see here. Thank you guys for being here. Adam Holt, are you a Marvel or DC person? I am very much a Marvel person. I like Marvel a lot better. Don't get me wrong. I like Wonder Woman. I like Superman. I like Batman. I like the core characters of DC. But if I have to choose, like if somebody said for some unknown reason, you can never watch one or the other, or read one or the other ever again, which one are you going to get rid of? It will definitely be DC. I would probably go with Marvel almost any day and twice on Sunday. But it doesn't mean that I don't like DC. I think as far as the movies are concerned, DC has had great trouble with their ensemble movies, but their single character movies have been pretty good. I haven't seen the new Aquaman yet. I did see the old one and very much enjoyed it. All of the Batman movies I've enjoyed, kind of. I wasn't so in on Batfleck, but my favorite was Christian Bale. He was my favorite Batman. Him and Michael Keaton are my two favorites. I liked Michael Keaton for the general sense of Batman, but I really like Christian Bale as the Dark Knight Batman. And all of the others are like super far. So it's like Christian Bale, Michael Keaton for me, and then everybody else is like way down the list. Did not enjoy George Clooney. Although I like George Clooney as an actor, I didn't think he was a good Batman. Did not like Iceman. Can't remember his name now. He played Iceman in Top Gun. Dang it. Didn't like him as Batman either. And then Ben Affleck, didn't like him either as Batman. Just thought he was a little too... I don't know, just didn't fit. Just didn't fit for me. I don't know why. But Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, very awesome. And I've loved, well, Wonder Woman 84 seemed a little contrived to me, but I really enjoyed the original one. I didn't dislike Wonder Woman 84, but I thought it was a distant second to the first Wonder Woman. I've enjoyed those. The Flash movie was okay, but I'm a huge fan of the TV version Flash, much better than the movie Flash. And it's the difference of the actors' abilities, in my opinion. I just liked the TV Flash much better. I wish they would have used those actors in the movies, just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe did, for the most part. I think there were some differences in some of the characters, but I wish they would have used the actors who were already playing those roles. I think it would have gone better for them in some way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, I think it's the writers, and it's more the writers and directors than it is the actors that mess those movies up. But there you have it. That was a very long answer for a very short question, so I apologize. Caffeineaholic? No, I'm not. Nuh-uh, you are. I woke up at 10 a.m. yesterday. Yesterday, so you've not gone to sleep yet, Barry. You woke up at 10 a.m. yesterday and you have not yet gone to sleep? Sir, that is a problem. Let's see here. 7 a.m. is when my 4-hour Ansible course started. This is my break from computers. Good. Good to hear that, David. Work is an awesome thing. Matthew Vincent is here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, buddy. A coffee stopped working on me. Coffee stopped working on me a long time ago. At some point, you just need sleep. Coffee stopped working on me a long time ago. Well, I don't... I think it's not a habit because of the caffeine, because I can go without the caffeine. I can drink decaffeinated coffee, and it's I don't drink it for the caffeine or to stay awake. I think it's just, this is part of me. I like to fidget, and if I can have something to fidget, and if I can sip out of whatever I'm fidgeting with, that's even better. So I think that it's more of that. Bat juice or beetle bat. Bat juice or beetle bat. That is funny, Matthew. That, of course, as you can tell, made me chuckle. Let's see here. For many years, okay, Adam Holt, how many games do you have in your collection? Ah, wow. Oh, wait a minute. Just need a metal bucket and some twigs. Oh, for a fire. Yeah, that might be a difficulty. How many years? How many games do you have in your collection? How many games? I have not counted, but we get this question a lot, and Jess and I are both kind of itching to know the actual answers so that we can know if we really need to start whittling it down. I think we do, but we don't know the actual. I have a mound of games sitting on top of a table, under the table. There are board game bags that I know have board games in them under the table over here, and that's in addition to all the games that are over there and all the games that are behind me. So we have quite a lot. I would probably say around the 500 mark. Hopefully it's less than that, but I would not be surprised if it's up that high. I hope it's less than that. I really do, because if it is less than that, we're definite. If it is that or more, we're super doing a call very soon, because this is my workspace. So I will say that, and board games are my work. So I will also say that. So it kind of fits, but it is getting a little bit cluttered, and I don't like clutter at all. I look in and it becomes a little bit stressful for me. So I need to work on it. But I would say I would venture to guess around 400 to 500 games. Yeah. Let's see here. I was never big on superheroes, Kabuki Kid said, but my favorite superhero book was X-Men, so Marvel for that. I prefer superhero cartoons to movies. I definitely do not. I don't know what it is. I don't like cartoons much. I think I got burnt out on cartoons as an adult because I had kids and they wanted to watch cartoons all day. Now again, we didn't literally park them in front of a TV and just turn it on and they literally watch. It's just, that's what it felt like. So when that started happening, I was very much more, I want to watch something that's live action. And that's, we are, as geeks / nerds / fill in the blank, whatever you want to call it, this is the era that we have been wishing for decades. Superhero movies, live action movies, were no bueno a long time ago, a while ago. Just a couple decades ago, really. Before they started coming out with, really, the original Batman movies with Michael Keaton in it, those were the first ones that were like, oh, they can do superhero movies now. Ooh. That's when it kind of started, for me at least. And that was exciting. And then after Michael Keaton stopped being Batman, it kind of went down a little bit for me. And then they started coming out with the Iron Mans and the Thors and the first Avengers and Captain America. And I was like, ooh. And even the Hulk movies, for as substandard as they are compared to how Hulk is now, even those were like, wow, yeah, finally we got a Hulk that can do something, like we thought Hulk was actually like. So I think we're a little bit in a spoiled era now. And I really enjoy it. I really do. And it's kind of the same thing that I take with the Star Wars movies. To have so much Star Wars content out there now, it's like, dude, it's cool. I'm super looking forward to the new Mandalorian. Super looking forward to the new Book of Boba Fett. I'm hoping Ahsoka season 2 is going to be very good. So I'm looking forward to a lot of the Star Wars content that's out there. So we're super spoiled right now, and I think the fans of those franchises need to kind of, I don't know, settle down a bit. I mean, I get it. I do. It's your baby, and it's kind of what you hold dear. So if it doesn't go the way that you wanted it to, then you're going to kind of get up in arms about it. I get it. I really do. I do. I'm serious, but I'm not going to get into all of that stuff because it's just not worth the time. But I think we do live in a time where it's cool that we can be picky about which of our favorite franchises we get to watch and which we don't get to watch, we don't like. Or I think we live in a very special time as far as that's concerned. Technology has really come along in such a way that provides us with that kind of entertainment that, a couple decades ago, it just didn't exist. So take that for what it's worth. I really dig, let's see here. Yeah, Val Kilmer. Yeah, there you go. They're all great heroes, but the real hero is R2-D2. He always saves the day. That is true, Chris. R2 was the bomb diggity. Val Kilmer. Yep, Val Kilmer. That's correct. I did not like him as Batman. I like him as an actor. Don't get me wrong. Real Genius is one of my favorite movies. Favorite Val Kilmer movies. I loved Val Kilmer in that. And of course, there's the Top Gun movies, and even the new Top Gun movie. I think his role in that one was very well done as well. And I was really pleasantly surprised that that Tom Cruise had him in that movie, in that role. It would have been very easy to kind of write him out of the script, but he chose not to. And I think that was a very cool. I don't know if it was Tom Cruise's decision or not. I would imagine it is, but it was. But that was a very cool thing to me, to have Val Kilmer come back and reprise his role as a very decorated and highly promoted Iceman. I think that was a really cool thing to do. Let's see here. Not yet. I'll sleep when it stops raining, hopefully before May. It's raining outside here too now. I apologize for my coughing. It's what Jesse had, I think I got, and now I'm getting rid of it as well, so I apologize in advance. I'm currently going through a cull, Adam says, so it makes me feel better to know I'm not alone in my board game addiction. You are not. There are a lot of us out here. Just migrated my collection data to Teleco. 480 games plus expansions, not counting yesterday's arrivals. Oh, man. I have to call the games I kept from the last cull. I thought I might play them, but my initial instinct was correct, that they're just not getting played. Well, there is that. I did just pull 3 games. I was making a list for the... JT and I are going to be doing a bottom 5 and top 5, basically a top 10. We're going to be doing a top 10 nature-themed games for Earth Day that's coming up. And so I was pulling some games off the shelf that I'm going to try to get played today that I haven't played in a long time. So that's pretty cool, because I went through Board Game Geek using their environmental games category, and was able to pull for about 15 games that I felt would make the list, could make the list. And that just wasn't enough, so I turned around, started looking at my shelves, and pulled some more off of that. And these are games that I pulled down, the games that I pulled down are games that I've played before, and I know they are nature themed and all of that kind of stuff, but I just want to play them again to see if they have the opportunity of making that top 10. So you just kind of have to make yourself do it sometimes. And I know that sounds weird because it's a hobby, but sometimes hobbies can be at least adjacent to work, where you do have to kind of work to curate, if I can use that word, your collection, and know what you're going to keep and know what you're okay getting rid of. And that's part of the job of the hobby. Let's see here. For me, the best superhero movie is still the 1978 Superman. That was the boilerplate for all superhero movies that came later, and that one felt like it had the most heart. I will agree with that. I really enjoyed the Christopher Reeves Batman movies. I really did. And I will have to say that you're correct. That was the boilerplate. That really was the. That's, I think, following that example is why the Michael Keaton Batman was so good. And not that they followed basically a template or anything like that, but it's what put superhero movies back on the radar, I think. And I think that's great. But I will kind of stand by the fact that I think the new era really kind of started with the new Batman movies. So that was really cool. Christopher Reeves was great. Musical score, music. It's so important in movies, and John Williams knocks it out of the park every single time. And I used to have a John Williams playlist back before playlists were a real thing. I used to buy, the movies that had John Williams soundtracks. I used to buy all of those CDs, and that's what I would listen to. I loved soundtracks. Man, I love soundtracks. Superheroes, enough is enough. Too many, too quick. Yeah, that's true. It is kind of like drinking from the fire hose right now, right? But I'd much rather have it that way than the way it was before, when there was like nothing. And if you wanted to get your superhero fix, you had to go watch a cartoon or read a comic book. Not that reading is a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but I'm reading a Winter Soldier graphic novel right now. And then I came home the other night, and my son was watching Captain America Winter Soldier on the TV, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to sit down and watch the rest of this. I'm reading this book right now. So it was really cool because there's little things like little nuggets in Winter Soldier that if you didn't read the comic books, you wouldn't really catch. Like there's one point in the movie where Black Widow is fighting Winter Soldier, and she like looks him dead in the eye and says, "Do you even recognize me?" And I was like, "I know," that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. They are churned out a bit too often, too quickly. That's correct. Overload. I actually thought Val Kilmer was good when doing the Bruce Wayne part. Yeah, but see, for me, Bruce Wayne was never a blonde. Bruce Wayne was always brunette. Dark hair, not really black, but dark brown at least. And that's how Bruce Wayne always looked to me. I never really saw him as a blonde, so it was a disconnect. I never could say, yeah, he did a good job as that, but you couldn't see his hair when he was in the Batman suit. So it was okay when he was when he was Batman, but his Bruce Wayne just was like total thematic disconnect to me. Could not do it. Surprised how good Maverick was. For me, it was better than Top Gun. I can see that. But I wonder, because I kind of felt the same way, but I wonder how much of that is true nostalgia for the original Top Gun, and it's just been revived. Because, man, I watched Top Gun. I can't tell you how many times I watched Top Gun. I loved that movie. I've always been my dad grew up in the Air Force, and I know it's naval aviation, but my dad grew up in the Air Force, and so I grew up around jets. I grew up around airplanes. I grew up around going to airplane shows and all of that kind of stuff. And so I've always had a real fascination for jets, fighters, props, whatever. Anything that flew, I always had a kind of a fascination for. And so when Top Gun came out and that kind of cutting edge aerial photography just blew it out of the water for me. And so I've always had a real connection, I guess. I hate that word. I don't hate it, but in that it feels like it's a contrived word. But I've always had a draw, I'll put it that way, to the original Top Gun. And then when Maverick came out, I was like, holy crap. This sequel is just as good, at the very least, at bare minimum, it is just as good as the original Top Gun was. And that's a super accomplishment to me for a sequel. There are, many sequels are not as good as predecessors. And some are better than their predecessors because they took what was original and improved upon it. The other ones that aren't as good, they're just kind of trying to, milk that cow. But Maverick, I think, because there is such a difference in years between when the original happened and when Maverick happened, there was a lot of time there to pull into that story, into that timeline, viable characters. And they were able to take those new viable characters and make the old characters just as viable. And pull in some new, older characters that were just talked about in the original movie. And in Maverick, they were actually given roles. I really enjoyed Maverick a lot. A lot. So, yeah. Top Secret. Oh, man. Top Secret. Maybe that's one of the reasons why, because I always saw Val Kilmer as almost a comedian more than a dramatic actor, because the two main movies that I remember Val Kilmer from was Real Genius and Top Secret. Those are both comedies, in my opinion. They've got dramatic flair to them, but they're both comedies. And so when he showed up as Batman, I was like, I don't think so. But such a great talent, Val Kilmer is. I won't say was, because he still is a great talent. So, yeah. Even the plot for Maverick was the trench run from Star Wars. Hey, come on. No, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was, but here's the thing. I think it's more spectacular in Maverick than it was in Star Wars, because in Maverick, they had to deal with the laws of physics. Only the last third, KK. Yes. See? Yeah. Nature games are games that show your true nature. No, just nature games. Let's see here. Back when playlists were grooves on vinyl. Well, not that far back, David. Just CDs, not vinyl. Missing this. Stupid work. It would be weird to watch this in the middle of the theater show, right? I don't know. It depends on how you can hide it. If you can do well and hide it, I think you should be fine. Now, if you're a stage manager, don't do it. Pay attention to what you're doing, brother. I still remember when the 1989 Batman movie was being made and people were in an uproar that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman. Mr. Mom is Batman? Outrage. He ended up being great. Yeah, I know. And that's another person but I think Michael Keaton looked the part of Bruce Wayne. And so when he showed up in the trailers as Bruce Wayne, I was like, whoa, that dude fits. And then his portrayal of Batman worked as well. And so I was like, yeah. Plus, I like Michael Keaton. So it all kind of worked together. Same as when they were making the first X-Men movie and people were mad that Hugh Jackman was going to be Wolverine. A 6-foot-tall Wolverine? He's 5'3" in the comics. I know. So what? He was awesome. And he still is awesome being Wolverine. Come on. Will anybody ever be Wolverine ever again? And I think no. You will have to not watch any of the Wolverine movies ever and think that anybody new they get to be him is better. That's how good I think Hugh Jackman is at being Wolverine. And that is a testament to how good of an actor Hugh Jackman is. My goodness. To pull that off and to pull off all the other stuff that he's done, it's amazing. Love Hugh Jackman as an actor. Again, people forgot when he was great in the role. That's true. Aliens was better than the first. Yeah, I can see that as well. It's the more popular. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was a better movie, because I've gone back and watched the original Alien, and it really kind of sets the entire premise for Aliens. So I think without the original, the second would not have been as good. I don't know that you would have been able to pull off the second without the first as the foundation. But because you're not as invested in Sigourney Weaver's character anymore. You're not as invested in that character because you didn't see what she went through in the first, and how, her entire crew, I can do this. Her entire crew was taken out. And she was the only one that survived. She got away by the skin of her teeth. And so, I think it's more fair to say that they were different, than one was better than the rest. I enjoyed Aliens more than the first one as well, but I don't know that the second movie would have been as impactful as if it were the first. I'll put it that way. My grandfather was a teamster on the sets for Clean and Sober. Oh, cool. Good acting in Clean and Sober. I've never seen that movie. Alien and Alien snaps together as a great pairing of movies. That is correct. And I think that's a more succinct way of saying what I was just talking about. I'm looking forward to the new Aliens. Still remember a one-shot cartoon they did for X-Men back in the 90s. Prior to the series that came later, and Wolverine had a thick Australian accent. Was hysterical. Alien equals horror. Aliens equals sci-fi action. Okay, sci-fi action. Well, I don't know. I think Alien was sci-fi horror, and I think Aliens was sci-fi horror. With action. I mean, yes, Aliens was an action movie. You throw the Marines in there, absolutely. Before that, it was a team of scientists with like one dude that was the security guy. What's that going to do? Aliens, you bring in an entire platoon of space Marines along with a few scientists. Yeah, that's an action movie. But I think it still has that horrific element to it, because, it still has all of those jump scares and all that kind of stuff going on. But I think one was probably more horror in a sci-fi setting, and the other one was sci-fi action with a horror sprinkling on top. Any suggestions on a Native American Euro games? My wife is Shawnee and cannot seem to find any that are Euro style. Lewis and Clark, The Expedition, is one that I would say right off the top of my head. I know it's not, Native Americans aren't central to that, but they are, Lewis and Clark's Expedition was highly dependent upon a good relationship with the Native Americans that they came into contact with. So there's that. There's another one called Discoveries, the Journals of Lewis and Clark. Both of those are done by Ludonaught, and they're both done with artwork from Vincent Dutrait. Those are great games, and they look amazing as well because of Vincent's work on them. I would say both of those, but they're both about Lewis and Clark, and Lewis and Clark: The Expedition is much more of a Euro style game than Discoveries is. So I would say either of those would be good. And man, but you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is a dearth of Native American themed games. A Few Acres of Snow is based in the French and Indian War, but it's not a Euro game. It's a lighter war game. I'm sorry to turn my back on you. I'm just trying to look. I'm much more of a visual person, so I apologize for this. But I do want to try to just look to see if anything pops out as I'm looking through all of this. But yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, you are absolutely correct. Seeing, games that don't talk about me behind my back now, because I'll turn around and read it. Wow, those are the two. In my collection, at least, and what I can see, those are the two that have a prominent role. Native Americans have a prominent role in. Yep. Let's see here. What Bushman said. Okay, fine, Kabuki. There are ones about Navajo Nation and Comanche Empire. I think they are out of print now at Chris. Maybe some of the Academy games, historical games. Maybe, yeah. 1754. Is that what he just mentioned? Someone was talking to me and I missed it. A Few Acres of Snow was the one I was thinking of. 1775 has Indian units as well, right? But they're not really. I wouldn't call 1775. 1775 is about the American Revolution. It's not really a Native American game. Academy was talking about one in the America series, but I think it came out. Native American TI4. Really, Eric? You always do that. Comancheria, the rise and fall of the Comanche Empire. Ooh, I've never even heard of that one. GMT had Navajo Wars. Yeah, but they're looking for Euro games, though, not war games. GMT, and really Comancheria sounds like it's going to be a more... Oh, wait, let me go to Board Game Geek. Let me look at Comancheria. I've never even heard of that one before. Rise and Fall of Comanche Empire. Yep, that's GMT. That's 60 to 360 minutes. So 1 to 3 hours, and it's a solo player. A solo player 3-hour game? Whoa! Definitely not a Euro game. But I mean, it's the right theme, yeah. But definitely not a Euro game. So there's that. There does feel to be a drought of Euros with that theme. Yeah, that's very true. So, I mean, check out Lewis and Clark, The Expedition, and Discoveries, the Journals of Lewis and Clark. Those are both Euro-ish, with Lewis and Clark, The Expedition being much more the Euro game. Discoveries has dice chucking thrown into it, but it's not for a combat resolution or anything like that. So I think you'll still be pretty good. Yep, I think that's about it. Unfortunately, now I'm curious because no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to advanced search. Do they have a category? I'm pretty sure they don't have a category for Native Americans. No. And unfortunately, probably Western themed games are going to, like the Wild West, are going to have them displayed in kind of a negative way, which I know we don't want either. Mature adult math. Industry, mafia, humor, fantasy. Yeah, they just don't have... Well, let me check. American West. Let me try. Bing. If you go to Board Game Geek and do their advanced search, you can do what I'm doing here, but... really... Yeah, see, wow. Even Lewis and Clark is in the American West. That's kind of strange. But I'm just looking to see what we've got here. There is the Navajo Wars one that that's GMT games, 1 to 2 players, but you know GMT is not Euro games. And there's Discoveries, the Journals of Lewis and Clark in the American West. I guess that's true, but goodness. There's Comancheria, or Comancheria, I guess would be the better way to say that. I'm just not seeing a whole lot, which is unfortunate. I mean, honestly. Yeah, I'm just not seeing, there's a whole bunch of American West themed games here, but I'm just not seeing any ones that looks like it's going to give Native Americans a prominent role. And if they do, I can't, because I haven't played them, I don't know if it's going to be in a positive or negative light. Yep, I don't know, sorry. Oh, there's one called, it's from by Avalon Hill. Not going to be a Euro game, that's for sure. It's about the Native American Wars in the U.S. and it's the conflict between the U.S. and the Native Americans. So I was reading it. I apologize. And that's from Richard Berg, to be delineated from Richard Borg, I believe. I don't think that's the same person. But 480 minutes. Whoa, 4 hours. Good night. But there you go. Yeah, I just don't think there's much out there, unfortunately. Let's see here. Zulkan. American Indian Wars. Wendake, yeah, that's another one that was, I think, put out by Simon. Manitoba, I recall seeing it come out, but know nothing else about it other than you are a Cree tribe. Manitoba. That's interesting. I didn't know that. They were exploring the West, Sam. Yes, I know. Teotihuacan, City of the Gods, Zulkan, Wendake. Berg is a big shot war game guy. Yeah, I know. That's why I made the delineation. I knew it was not the same person as Borg. But Richard Borg is also a big war gamer guy. But the games that he's produced have been much more like much more of the family level, not the tactical. All right, so real quick. The thumbnail said Spring CamasCon, and you might be wondering, what in the world is that? Well, April 18th through 21st, CamasCon is a small gathering of gamers that happens in a little retreat that is up in the mountains close between here and Leavenworth, and it happens over a weekend. Starts on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, ends on Sunday, and I'm going to be going to that April 18th through the 21st, and I think I'm probably going to take my family with me. I don't know if they're going to want to come or not. It would involve them missing a Friday. And with the band and color guard season ramping up, I don't know if at least Stephanie and Dante are going to be able to come. But anyway, that is that's the whole thing there. And so they've asked me to be a speaker on 2 or 3 sessions. So that's going to be a cool thing. So if you're in the Wenatchee area, or if you're anywhere in the Pacific Northwest and that sounds interesting, you can check out, they have a Facebook page, CamasCon. CamasCon. And you can check that out to see if it's something you might want to come to. I think it'll be a cool thing. I don't know if JT is going to be there, but he has gone up there. They've had game days before. He's gone up there with me a couple of times to go play games up at Camas Meadows. But that's something that that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be kind of a more local thing than it is going to be, one of the bigger conventions that I go to this year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I like smaller events. I don't mind the big ones, not at all. If I did, I wouldn't go. But I also really enjoy the smaller ones because it's a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more community driven. Local community driven, and that's what I like about it. So I just wanted to mention it in case people wanted to look into it and see if they might be able to make it. I know it's kind of short notice. I just got invited last week, and I accepted kind of at the beginning of this week after I made sure that my son's football schedule he's got a football game that Saturday, so I'm going to be able to leave from there, go to his game, and then go back Saturday night. So that's kind of, I just wanted to make sure all my other ducks were falling in place before I committed to it. But it's a really neat retreat area, and with cabins, and they have a kind of a communal building where we set up tables. It's a really cozy atmosphere, beautiful, picturesque, right in the middle of the woods. You have to drive for about 15 to 20 minutes off the highway to get to, and it's up the side of a mountain. So it's a really neat place. So if you have any inclination or ability whatsoever, I'd highly recommend you looking into it. It's CamasCon, CamasCon, and they have a Facebook page, and I believe they also have a website. Let me double check that. Yep, CamasCon. Yep, there we go. If you put in CamasCon in your Google search engine, the first two, the first one is CamasCon. The second one is CamasCon, the Facebook group. So both of those are and really even the third one is Camas Meadows Bible Camp, which will take you to the website for that retreat space, and they also have a page on there for where you can sign up for CamasCon. So, and then, oh, look at that. The fourth one is this video that you're watching, the fourth link. That's actually pretty funny. So, there you have it. If that interests you, you can look that up. CamasMeadows.org, or you can go to CamasCon on their Facebook group. So, there you go. And you'll notice that it says Christian gaming and Christian all that. You do not have to be a Christian in order to come. I just was talking with Daryl, the organizer, and he said we've had all walks of life come, and all walks of life are welcome. So there you have it. But that's what the whole Spring CamasCon title was about. I just wanted to mention that, and that we were coming. Steamers West is second Friday of the month. That is correct. So not tomorrow, but the following Friday. The date it's going to be the 5th tomorrow, so it'll be the 12th. April 12th is when we have the game night at Steamers West from 5 to 9 p.m. April 12th. So there you go. Bum 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 bum. Borg Command and Colors, yeah. Matthew Vinson, Stone Age could count. Just use Clovis spearheads. I don't think so. Oh yeah, now we're getting to the subject I was here for. Emily and I will be going Thursday through Saturday, bringing the travel trailer. Very cool. I'm glad. We'll be glad to see you there. Shamans. Send plane ticket. I'll come. I'll need spending money too. Can't help you, Eric. I'm sorry, buddy. Steamers West the second Friday. Yes. Consider it a sponsorship. Ooh. For the elderly. I can't, buddy. I can't. Sorry. Oh man, I changed creamers, and I forgot how much I love hazelnut flavored creamers. I've been using coconut cream, zero sugar creamer, but they didn't. I went shopping this morning. They didn't have any of that, so I went with hazelnut zero sugar. This is good, good, very good. I like it a lot. So, what else have we got going on here? I'm looking forward to playing those 3 games I pulled down off the shelf to see if they're going to be going on my list. Friday, tomorrow's playthrough. I haven't got it scheduled yet, and it's not because I'm slacking. It's because I'm waiting to hear back from JT. JT's regular 9 to 5 might be pulling him away tomorrow morning. Tomorrow from being able to stream with us. So if that doesn't happen, if JT's going to be here, we'll be doing Marrakesh from Queen Games. He was able to play that last weekend at the Atom event that he went to, representing the Flipside. And it's a game that Queen Games has sent us in order to be able to play and review. So 2 birds, 1 stone, get a play of it, make a video. Yes, we're going to do that if JT is going to be here. If JT is not going to be here, then we will play something else that Jesse and I will be able to do. And if JT is able to get here, we can throw him into the mix. We just don't know how JT's work schedule is going to be on Friday. So we're kind of trying to stay fluid right now. We're trying to be like water and see how that goes. But if JT is able to be here, we'll be playing Marrakesh, just me and him, because it is a heavier game, and I don't think Jess will like it that much. New York was good, but I think Marrakesh is going to be a little bit too much for her to enjoy. Not that she won't be able to handle it. I just want her to enjoy stuff. So there's that. But if he's not able to be here, or if he's not sure he's going to be able to be here, we're going to play something that Jess and I can do together, that he can be thrown into if he happens to make it. So I'm not slacking on that point. We're just not sure exactly what we're going to be playing yet. So by tonight, or possibly around 8 o'clock Friday morning, we'll know whether or not we'll be able to play Marrakesh, or if it's going to be something else. So look for that tomorrow morning or tonight later on. Let's see here. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Philbert. Matthew Vincent. Hello, Karen. Hey there, Karen. Hi, Sam. From my second lunch from work. And then somebody dutifully asked, "Are you a hobbit?" Yes, I am, for another week, LOL. The Magnificent, either solo or multi. The Magnificent. I don't know what that means. The Magnificent. I'm all in. I'm in an all 4 time zones Zoom training. Second lunch is for Mountain Time and Pacific time zones. Oh man, goodness gracious. So you've got to have different lunch times to accommodate for different time zones. That's interesting. Huh. All right, we're going to take this out and delete that shot and then put that back. There we go. All right. Well, let's see. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, JT and I will have our bottom 5 post-apocalyptic games going up on the Dice Tower. So you can go check that out. Monday, we'll have our top 5 post-apocalyptic games coming out, and I'm going to be getting that edited this afternoon, along with a couple other videos that JT and his daughter Anna shot while she was visiting a couple weeks ago. So I've got to buckle down and get those edited, which I'm going to do this afternoon after this is over. The Magnificent always looked too fiddly for me to pick up. IRS Policy, yes. Oh, interesting. Great game. One of my favorites. Shamans is a Native American game. I'm going to look at that. Let's go to Board Game Geek. SHAMANZ. Shaman. Shamans, you put it with a Z, but Shamans with a Z isn't coming up, but there is Shaman King trading card game, Shaman King collectible figure game, and then there is Shamans with an S that came out in 2021, so I'm going to click that one. From Studio H, I would imagine that's the one. Hidden role game filled with magic, suspense, and dreamy worlds. Huh. Ooh, I like the artwork on the cards. I like the box too. I like Studio H as well. Wow, that is cool looking artwork. Man. Okay. All right, that's a good one. Shamans 2021 from Studio H. We'll take that. Let's go back to SHAMAN and let's look at Shaman 2021. This one is by Astral Logic Games. Chance Colbert, Jamie Zimmerman. Has a 7.0 out of 10, 4 out of 5 weight. It looks like no images. Oh, yeah, no, there's some images. This looks... This looks less like a... I don't know. This looks less like a Wild Beast meeples, structure tokens, fort, bunker, silo, stash, temple, shrine, shaman meeples, fire tokens, warrior meeples, rover meeples, village meeples, skull tokens. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I'm just not getting a huge Native American vibe off of Tribe of the Endless Prairies, Shimmering Deserts, Lost Jungles, Eternal Forest, Towering Mountains, and the Thousand Lakes. I guess they couldn't, or they didn't want, or they couldn't use the names of the tribes, but you definitely have the different, the lands where the different tribes came from. These pictures look like they're all out of Tabletop Simulator as well. But it gives you a good idea of what the game looks like. Interesting. Was that a Kickstarter? Yep. Kickstarter, crowdfunding. Does it have a link for the Kickstarter? Shaman landing page. How to play, put out by the producer, or publisher rather. Yeah, error 404 on the landing page, so I'm not going to look any further there. Let's see here. Thank you for playing the game yesterday. I liked it a lot and found out. My husband says we have it, so excited. The game yesterday, what did we play yesterday? What game did we play yesterday? Are you talking about Stone Age? Or are you talking about the one I reviewed yesterday? Because yesterday I did a review of Path of Civilization, and the day before that we played Stone Age, and then Monday we played Commissioned. So I'm assuming you mean Stone Age, but there you go. Car Wars! Stone Age for the win. Oh, okay, there you go. Yep. You're welcome. Is this the only live video today, Sam? Yes, it will be. I normally do a live solo play, but I don't have one lined up that I really wanted to get to the table. There are some that I want to get to the table, but I'm not ready to do them yet. So I decided to take this afternoon to get some of that editing done that I've really kind of been keeping further down on the priority level. I need to boost that up just so that I can get them done and get the videos out. Because JT and Anna took the time to put these videos together, and so I need to make sure that I'm honoring that time. So I need to just kind of clear the rest of my schedules today so I can get that stuff done. So there won't be any more live content today. How many children does JT have? Him and Mel have Hawken, and maybe I shouldn't have said that name, but anyway, they have one kid together, and then I believe he has. I might be wrong. I've never asked him that question. How many kids do you have? But I think he has 3 other kids. But it could be just 2. But I'm not sure because I haven't actually asked that question. I guess am I a bad friend because I don't know how many kids my friend has? Crap. It's 2 or 3, I believe. I've never met them. I haven't even met Anna. I've just seen her on the video that they shot. So that's part of the reason why. I know Hawken very well, and he's a really cool kid. But I haven't met any of his other kids. That's why I don't know for sure. Shamans is set in the First Nations lore, but it is really pasted on setting. Okay. David, I own everything for that version of the game. We used to play it a lot. Half the fun was just building the cars before the actual game for Car Wars. Yep. Do you think Stone Age needs a new artwork design, more cartoony? No, absolutely not. I think it looks great. TI4 Solo or the Magnificent? No, I don't have the Magnificent. And I'm not going to play TI4 Solo. You can't do that. Heller Moons, what do you think about Final Girl? I really like Final Girl. I didn't think I would because it's a solo game. But oh my goodness, the theme that oozes out of that game. It's amazing. Now, my first introduction to the game was with the Mrs. Claus versus Krampus. Because it has Vincent Trace artwork. I am nothing if I'm not predictable. But I've also done the Evil Morph version where it is Ellen versus the Evil Morph. And it's amazing how thematic that game is. With all of the different modules and all of the different little nuances that those modules bring in, the different pairings, but it's still the core system. And it's very thematic in each of those different things, at least the ones that I've tried. I don't know if some of the other ones might feel samey, but the 2 that I've played, the Evomorph and the Krampus one, they were both very thematic. And I love that. I think it's a great game. I think Van Ryder Games knocked that one out of the park. I was this close to just diving headfirst into the deep end on their brand new Kickstarter, but it was just too much money. I couldn't do it. And JT owns it, and I know he'll let me borrow it whenever I want to. So that's the only 2 reasons. I could not justify the price that they were asking for it, and I know JT has it. And he's probably getting everything on the new one as well. So that's just the way it goes. Sam, okay, well, I got that one. You're a good friend for minding your own business. Ooh, okay. All right, Matthew. Not a fan of the cartoon artwork in most new games. Maybe that's why I like the look of older games. That is a valid point, David. We said it at the same time. You owe me a Coke. No, I don't. Although I do have one of those new raspberry spice Coke Zeros. We got it for free because of a coupon that we used at the store the other day. And oh my goodness, that tastes like cough syrup. Blah! Nastiness. Haven't thrown it away yet, though. Probably going to drink some more of it. Maybe it'll grow on me. Final Girl is a winner. Absolutely is. Have you played the TI Roll and Write? Do you mean, what is it called? Twilight Inscription? Where is it? I have it. Where is it? It's right up there. I have played it, but I've only demoed it. I haven't actually played that copy of the game. But yeah, Twilight Inscription is a neat game. Heat, pedal to the metal, solo is always a fun time. Keeps opponent upkeep to a minimum. Yeah, I have played that one solo, and I agree. I do enjoy it. I think it's a great solo mode. But I've already done that, and it's not that I won't come back to it, because I did play Final Girl twice in a live stream. But there are other games out there that I have that are solo. I was just looking at another one that I did. Oh, Robin Hood and the Merry Men. That has a solo mode. So that one's kind of been added to the queue because it's a game that I own, and we actually looked at it, and it belongs in a museum this week. And I'm like, dude, this game has such great components. And then I was like, oh, crap, I forgot it had a solo mode. So that's one I'm going to be looking at here probably in the near future, just so that I like bringing back to light some of the older games that are out there. And while this one isn't terribly old, I think it came out in 2016 or 2017, but still, that's like 7 or 8 years ago that it came out. And to those that are in the cult of the new, that's like ancient, you know. So that's one I'm probably going to be getting back to the table here, at least with solo mode in the near future. But yeah, the political portion of the game was weak. Yeah, well, you're talking about a roll and write. At least Final Girl has a real starter box now. Yeah, that's probably true. Didn't know that. Raspberry spice? What? Yeah, exactly. It just says spice on it, but if you look at it, it says that it's raspberry spice flavored. And I swear to you, it tastes like NyQuil. Carbonated NyQuil is what it tastes like. My son says the same thing, and I was like, come on, you're 13, you don't know what you're talking about. Sip. Yep, you're right. That tastes like carbonated NyQuil. Interestingly gross. I'm getting Final Girl credit card, LOL. Really? Really? Are you serious? They have that? That sounds pretty cool. The raspberry spice ends up being a great mixer, but bleh by itself. Thank you, Shadow Bear. I don't mix drinks, so, but that would be interesting. I wonder, yeah, I can't drink a lot of carbonation anymore. Carbonation, like, is a tornado for someone who's had gastric sleeve surgery. It makes, you know, the carbonation makes your stomach expand and all that kind of stuff. So I try to stay away from carbonation now. But man, Coke Zero was my go-to back before I started this new journey. And every once in a while, I see it in the shelf and I'm like, oh boy, I could have some of that right now. We got this one for free. It was a Coke Zero. And Jesse was like, look, we got it for free. You can try it. But just sip it. Don't take full on, you know, drinks. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I took a drink and sure enough, blah. I don't know. Just, ugh. Carbonated NyQuil. That's what that tastes like to me. Let's see. Later's back to work. All right. See you later, Lewis. Take care, buddy. Let's see here. I don't mix drinks, says the guy with creamer. Okay. But this is different. You don't drink creamer by itself unless you use milk for creamer. So this is not a mixed drink. It is a coffee with creamer. I don't drink creamer by itself. Let it go flat first. Oh, that's even kind of worse, dude. Flat Coke is just not good. Ugh. Thanks, David. Oh, it was it. I'm sorry. I thought that was Matthew saying that. I didn't look, David. Matthew's been the one keeping me on my toes lately. I don't do mixed drinks. This is not a mixed drink. Mixed drinks for me are, you can drink this by itself, you can drink this by itself. This is now a mixed drink. That's what that is. You can't drink creamer by itself. If you do, you're a psychopath. Shaken, not stirred. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Concacheros, I need to get that one to the table as well. I just saw that one over there. But the problem is that is a, well, it's not, well, it's a 2 to 5, and I think it might be a little bit, I don't think Jesse will enjoy it, so I got to get it to the table with JT, and JT just is, he is a busy dude. He is a busy dude. He's very giving of his time, but man, he's got a family. He's got a real like 9 to 5, and that has non-flexible hours. I just don't. So that one's taken a back seat. We were able to play a 3-player game of Last Light online the other day before he went to the Adam event, and man, we had a great time. We got shellacked. We got shellacked by Lance Meister, Undead Viking, and because we were playing with him on Tabletop Simulator. And oh my goodness, he got this combination. It was a perfect storm situation. He was getting like, I think when he finally started getting his combination to work, he was getting 4 light every round when he was able to fire off that combo. I'm like, dude. It was like, JT did well. I think he had, I think the final score was like 20 to 15 to 6, and I had 6 light. But that's the way it is. Let's see. Only straight vodka for Sam. Oh man, I never could stomach vodka. It was too much. It was like drinking turpentine for me. I just couldn't do it. Back when I did drink, which was before it was legal for me to do so, Jack Daniels was my favorite liquor. I didn't really like beer. So the only mixed drink I've ever had, I think, is Jack Daniels and Coke. And that was my favorite. So, but that was eons ago. Sam coming for all those straight creamer drinkers. Not wrong, but he's coming for them. Who's drinking the margarita mix by itself? I don't know, man. I have no idea. But anyway, that's it. Tequila was my puke drink. Oh, wow. Puke drink. Have you tried putting creamer in the vodka? No, because I don't drink vodka. It's funny. Although I guess I could see people doing that. Yeah, that's. I don't know if it is a thing, but that seems like it wouldn't be far off the reservation for it to be a thing. Wild Irish Rose. Matthew Vincent says that sounds good. That sounds like the name of a drink that I would like. Oh wow, that sounds like it would be delicious. But again, if it's alcoholic, I stay away from it. I do enough stupid stuff on my own when I am perfectly sober. I do not need any help doing stupid things at all. So yeah, there you have it. A White Russian isn't that far from creamer and vodka. That's what I figured. I have heard of a White Russian before, so I thought that's why I thought that is probably within the realm of what some people probably or maybe do. How did we get talking about this? Is a board game channel, y'all. What is wrong with you? I know I started it talking about not using the carbonated NyQuil as a mixing element, as a mixer. Yep, I can't drink anymore. It just doesn't do it for me. And it wouldn't be a mixed drink by Sam's definition. That's right. That's right. I'm right, David. Just the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you learn to live with that, the better we all will be. Drinking is for kids. Ooh, shots fired, Matthew. Ooh. I forgot if you said you lived in Japan or Korea, but is there any food items you miss from there or drinks? Drinks, no. I don't have any drinks that I miss from Korea, but the food in Korea, oh my heave. The food is so good, and most of it, now some of it is nasty. Some of it, you know, the real like traditional stuff. Like for example, my daughter Catherine was born in Korea, and when she was teething, a lot of the Koreans just gave her dried calamari. And if you ever thought about making, I don't know, beef jerky from raw fish, that's what dried calamari basically is. At least that's what it really smells like. And every time they gave it to her, I was like, oh no. But here's the thing. She loved it, and it got her to stop crying. So, okay, you can have that. But a lot of the stuff in Korea is super good, dude. They find so many different ways to use rice. And it's not just like with something else. It's like they make candies out of rice, and they make little like bite-sized sweet. It's so good. Love that stuff. But really, the stuff that I miss the most is going to a Korean restaurant and paying basically $5, $6, $7 and getting a freaking feast of bulgogi or dalgogi or doejigogi, and it is just so good. So good. Wrap it up in lettuce, put some kimchi and rice, seaweed. So good. Love Korean barbecue. But their soups are also really good. Galbitang is super good. Sundubu. What else? Oh, they had this peanut stuff that was, it smelled horrible, but it tasted good, which blew my mind because my sense of taste and smell are so very much linked. If I think something smells good, I won't usually like it. Everybody's link of smell and taste are linked. I know that. But for me, it's just like heightened, that link. But yeah, a lot of their dishes that from Korea I love, and I don't get enough of it here. Like a lot of the times here for like Thanksgiving or Christmas, instead of doing a turkey, I'll make a Korean barbecue for our family meal, and family loves it. So, but I'll substitute it because I miss it that much. But yeah, japchae, man, what I would do for some good japchae right now. But here's the thing, it has so many carbs in it, I don't know that I'd be able to eat that much of it now. But man, I can remember noshing on some japchae. Man, yeah, the food, I miss it a lot. Maybe alcohol makes you smarter. It doesn't. It's been proven. It doesn't make you smarter. It stomps your brain cells. There are some medicinal uses of alcoholic drinks. I get it. I'm not like one of those that are like, you know, whatever about it. But yeah, alcohol does not help your brain function better. That's not true. Board Game Channel? Since when? My bad, derailed the whole show. Don't worry, Shadow Bear. It's all good, bro. Haven't played Distilled in a long while. Too many other games on the shelf of opportunity. There you go. Way to bring it back there, jokers. There you go. I also like chocolate cherry liquor with milk on ice. Ooh. See, now that sounds good. Colorado Springs has a couple good Korean restaurants. Well, here's the thing, and I was about to go there, but Korean restaurants here in America charge you soaring prices. Soaring prices. If I go to a Korean restaurant here, and it blew my mind. I came back to visit my dad one time at the tail end of another retreat, not a retreat, but a work trip that I had to go on when I was a teacher. It was a pre-field orientation, but I had already been working at the school, but it was just to fulfill a requirement of the organization that I was with. After that pre-field orientation week, I went up to visit my dad for a couple of days. And while we were up in Maryland, he took me to a Korean restaurant, and I looked at the prices, and I was like, what the heck? Usually, you can get bokkeumbap. Bokkeumbap is like a bowl of rice that has been, doso bibimbap is in a stone bowl that's heated, and the rice is still kind of cooking when you put the rice in there. And then on top of that, they got a whole bunch of vegetables and some meat and some gochujang and all this other kind of, and a fried egg on top of it. And when you pop the yolk, it oozes. Oh man, it's so freaking good. And you can put kimchi in it. It's so good. Anyway, a bowl of that in Korea will maybe be $5. Maybe $5. And we're talking good portion. Dosa bibimbap. Awesome. $15 to $20. $15 to $20. I'm like, this is highway robbery. Anyway, that's my rant. But yes, there are good Korean restaurants around. There's a couple of good Korean restaurants over on the other side. There aren't any good Korean restaurants here that I know of. So I just make it here at home. I know how to do it. There are places where we can go get the right marinade and all that kind of stuff here in town. We have a couple of different Asian shops here in town. And really even at Winco Foods, where I went shopping this morning, they've got good Korean barbecue marinade made by the CJ company, and they're good. But I just make it at home. It's much cheaper. And if I take a family of 5 to a Korean restaurant, we'll walk out of there paying $150. Easy. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong on so many different levels. But if I make it here at home, I spend $50 and we have more to eat than we would have at the restaurant. So save $100, make it at home, have leftovers? Yes, all day. Thank you. No, there are no good Korean restaurants. I just asked that. Our tastes are sometimes mostly smell. Yeah, that's true. I can't abide the taste of alcohol. Never been drunk. Never even had a buzz. Yeah, well, I'm kind of the same. I did like, there have been more than a few times that I have been drunk. Not proud of that, but it is truth. And I just don't like what it does to you if you get too much of it in you. Like I said earlier, and it's half tongue in cheek, but half is absolutely true. I do a lot of stupid stuff on my own without any help or prompting, so I don't need that nudge that I'm sure alcohol would give me. Kabuki Kid is back. Oh yeah, you had to leave there for a little bit. Gotcha. Let's see here. 12:45. We've been here for an hour and a half. Okay, what do we've got coming up? Well, next week, let's see. Let me look at... let's see. Ad time again. Sorry, just click skip as soon as you can. I don't mind. I am going to get my calendar, which is only half filled out because I ran out of time yesterday. I'll probably take more time later on. Wow, Strider, you are like super infringing upon my area here. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Stretchy Pants. Stretching out, not moving a muscle except for that. Let's see here. We have got... we'll have a weekend preview, Fireside Chat on Monday. We'll get Mondays back on track. We changed it up a little bit this week so that... because Jess had the day off, and so we did commissioned as a live play in instead of a Fireside Chat, so we're making up for that today. And then next week we'll have another It Belongs in the Museum. Our live play on Tuesday, I don't know what that's going to be yet, but that's going to happen as normal. I'm trying to get on a little bit of a schedule so that everybody knows what to expect. We'll do a live review on Wednesday, and then a solo play again on Thursday next week. And then our live play on the 12th is going to be Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So I will read up on the rules of that, and we'll get that done. It's the new version that just came out. So that is going to happen. And then, of course, on Saturdays, live Q&A with Jesse, that's going to happen as well. Tomorrow, I already mentioned the bottom 5 post-apocalyptic games on the Dice Tower that JT and I have already recorded. And then on Monday, top 5 post-apocalyptic games will come out. We are working on the nature themed games. So that's going to be on Sunday. The bottom 5 is going to be, and I'm actually filling this out now because nature games. All right, so that's going to be on the Dice Tower on Sunday because this next week on the 11th, 12th, and I think 13th, or maybe it's just the 11th and 12th, they're doing a 36-hour marathon or a 30-hour marathon or something like that on the Dice Tower. So the 12th, there's not going to be anything else going up on the Dice Tower. So we're going to take that and put it on the 14th. So the bottom 5 will come out on the 14th, and then the top 5 nature-themed games will be up on the 15th, on Friday. So we've got post-apocalyptic tomorrow and on the 8th, and then on the 14th and 15th, we'll have the bottom 5 and the top 5 go up for those going forward. And then on the 18th through the 21st, which is, wow, 2 weeks away. 18th through the 21st, I'm gonna be at CamasCon. We'll probably just do some shorts. The Wi-Fi up there isn't very good, so I'll have to see what I can do. But I'll still try to get up some short videos on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Because, well, maybe on the 18th I'll be able to do a solo play before we go up to the con, because I don't think it starts until after school on Thursday. But on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday we'll get some shorts videos put up and go from there. We will be doing a live play of Earth with its new expansion on the 26th. So you can put that on your calendars if you'd wish. JT was able to play Earth with its new expansion at Atom event, Inside Up Games, we're able to hook him up with that. So he is looking forward to sharing that with us. I'm going to play. I have played Earth before. Feels like work to me, but again, this is one of the things where the design is good. I know the design is good, and I can recognize that, but it's just not one that I really enjoy. But I am willing to try new things, so hopefully we'll be able to have fun with that. I know JT is going to really enjoy it, so we'll keep that going. Calendar time is right. Have you played the War of the Ring, the card game yet? No, I haven't. I'm supposed to be playing a game later tonight. No, I haven't played that. My wife and I caught COVID at the end of January and lost our sense of smell. We were finally able to finish the Costco-sized kimchi. I love kimchi, man. Kimchi is the best. Now, that's another thing. Homemade kimchi made by Korean, like down the street, and she gifts you some of it. Man, that is the best. The kimchi that you get at like Costco and Fred Meyer's and stuff like that, it comes in a bottle. It's not as good, but oh man, I love kimchi, dude. Love it. Still, it was a silver lining. Thunder Road Vendetta has to be on there. Has to be on where? Thunder Road Vendetta has to be on there. Has to be on where? Oh, post-apocalyptic games? Maybe, maybe not. Glad you are well now and can taste. Still, it was a silver lining. Nature games, the top 10 games that include Ric Flair. Woo! We have one of our defenders on the Wenatchee Wild. His last name is Woo, and whenever he does something good, that's what I do. I go, woo, real loud. So yes, the Nature Boy is still alive and well. Cottage Garden, Indian Summer, Spring Meadow only count as one. Okay. I managed to avoid COVID until the start of January. Finally got it. Somehow my smell taste was never affected. Yeah, I don't know. I've never tested to see if I ever got COVID. Because that's all I'm going to say. But, so that is what's coming up here on the flip side. And we are looking forward to the near future. And the future indeed. We've got a lot of cool stuff that's coming up. I've got some stuff from the Dice Tower that we're going to be getting to the table. I want to play Shores of Tripoli with Jesse, and then I'll be doing a review of that. I want to play Goonies Never Say Die a couple of more times before we review it. I've got another game called Seventh Sea from Board and Dice that is like an escape room with the Seventh Sea role-playing game theme added to it. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got the Dutch Resistance, Orange Shall Overcome, that's staring at me. And I've also got the Sixth Realm, which is a new one from Final Frontier that looks to be a blockbuster-heavy game. So we're looking forward to that. We've got Sabotage with the new mini-pack that I need to get done. Invasion Free State is another one that I just got from the Dice Tower. So all of these are going to be games that you'll be hearing more about in the very near future. So those are what's coming up first. And then I also have other games on my shelf of shame that we need to get played. I still haven't played the Skyrim board game, Arcase, Pan Viking, or Pax Viking, I'm sorry, is another one that's staring me in the face. So there's so many things to do. So many things to do. It's daunting. I've got another one a prototype that's sitting over there on the couch that we're getting done. Got a couple more prototypes that are on the way, so looking forward to getting those to the table as well. Kabuki Kid says, we lucked out and never got all that sick. Yeah. Have you played Ajisai and Fujiyama, abstract Japanese games with nature themes? No, I haven't. I haven't played those at all. K2 was a weather element, has a weather element. Does that count as nature themed? Well, let's ask that. Let's have that conversation, shall we? Because that is something that I was thinking about this morning. What exactly is a nature themed game? How much of nature must be instilled into the game for it to be considered a nature themed game? That was something I was just contemplating with my inner self earlier today as I was started working on putting this list together. Like, are there games that could not be considered nature-themed games that have a lot of nature in them? Like, is a farming game a nature-themed game? That's one of the questions that came up. Let me answer that for me. Is farming considered a nature-themed game? If it has a farming theme, is it considered a nature-themed game? Because some of the games that came up with their farming link in Board Game Geek, I wouldn't consider nature-themed games. Like, for example, Agricola. Is Agricola nature-themed? I don't think it is. Does it include nature? Absolutely. You've got to grow stuff in nature. You've got to do animal games. Does Zularedo count? Is that a nature-themed game? Has it got livestock in it? Stuff like that. I'm curious. What do you think? Thank you, Eric. Oh, that's amazing. The poop game. Nature calls, baby. Love it. For those that might be a little bit annoyed at this point, no, I'm not going to put that on my nature-themed game list. But now I think I might have a joke to tell during the stream, during the recording. So thank you for that, Eric. I will give you credit. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it immensely. That is very funny. Seems wildly arbitrary. I absolutely agree with it. So let's see. I think the K2 would be nature themed, at least man versus nature. Okay, good. Was it Joey that put So Clover as a nature themed game? Oh my gosh. Oh, I bet you he got reamed for that. And I didn't even see the video, but I'm sure he did. I would say there are so many farming games, it has its own theme. It does have its own theme. It does have its own category. That's why I was checking it, because to me, environmental is not just like they had Pandemic Legacy Season 1 in their environmental game. That's not a nature theme, though. I would barely say it's an environmental game as well. But, I mean, I guess the argument can be made for that, but it just doesn't seem to fit, even within an environmental category, because, I don't know, it just didn't seem to fit. So, is surviving a natural disaster a nature-themed game, right? Well, that's the thing. Would disaster-themed games count? If they're natural disasters, would that count? I think farming as a nature theme is a nature theme if it is the beginning of farming for a culture. It should be at least number 2 on the number 2 on the list. So Clover pick was hysterical and well mocked. Yes. You think of nature, you think of flora and fauna, and generally in their natural habitats. Well, yeah, you do. So farming works then, right? Because that is definitely within nature. What about gardening? What about flower games? It does seem wildly arbitrary. Absolutely. There are so many different things that could fit into a nature-themed list, right? That's what I was struggling with this morning. So I tried to, really, I tried the farming thing just on a whim, just to see what was on there, to see if anything would fit. And some of them did seem to fit more than others, as from a nature aspect, from a nature point of view. But I don't know. Flora and fauna and Cthulhu. Boy, David, you took your comedian medication this morning, didn't you? Arbitrary, nice. See what I did there? That's funny. No, but yeah, Kabuki, I think I do agree with you on that. I usually try to think of games that have a focal point on nature rather than a struggle versus nature, like, if a natural disaster type game or something to that effect. It blew me out of the water when Pandemic Legacy Season 1 was on the environmental list. I was like, what? No way. No way is that a environmental game. Whoever said that was mental. Elemental games, things that are based within the 4 elements of fire, water, earth, and wind, maybe. Fire, earth, water, wind. Fire, earth, water, wind. 4, yes. No farming in nature. Fine, Karen, be that way. Do fishing games count? Yeah, that's the thing. All the koi-themed games, right? Does Kohaku fit as in a nature-themed game? I think maybe it does. But if Kohaku fits, for example, that's one of the koi-themed games, would a game about horses fit? Like, I'm not talking about like horse racing or anything like that, but what about Takanoko? Is that a nature-themed game? That was one of the ones that was in the environmental game. Or no, the farming game list that I was like, I don't know if that would work as a nature-themed game. You're definitely working within nature, right? But is it a nature-themed game? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. The less humans are in the nature theme, the better, probably. Okay, I can see that. There are absolutely no humans in Kohaku, so that passes the test. There are no humans in something like Cascadia, so that passes. What about Atlantis Rising? Is that a nature game? It's a fantastical nature game at best, maybe, right? But again, that bleeds into the idea of it being it's a natural disaster thing, where you're trying to go against nature. Domesticated animals are out if farming is out. But, okay, like, for example, in Agricola, you can domesticate your livestock. You can have your sheep, one of your sheep can stay in your house with you. And you domesticate it, right? So does that mean it's no longer a livestock game? Most of the animals in Agricola are livestock. They're not domesticated. So does that... I don't think Agricola works anyway as a nature-themed game, but I'm just, being devil's advocate here. Might have to restrict yourself to natural processes, but I can't see photosynthesis making any of my top 10 lists. Well, I think photosynthesis is definitely one of the ones that's going to be considered at the very least. Whether it makes the list or not, I don't know. But a house sheep barking at the mailman. Bah! Bah! That was a horrible It was a horrible sheep. I'm sorry. Farming is its own category. I can agree with that. Bleeding at the mailman. Yes, that is correct. Good correction there. David, I almost read it, but I'm not going to read that. That was bad. It's not normal. Livestock are domesticated animals, though. Are they? I see a dog is a domesticated animal. A cat is a domesticated animal. I think that's a far cry from having a sheep in your house. I think it's a far cry from, like, if I walked through that door, I would be aghast if there's a cow in my living room. But if my dog is laying on my couch, no problem. That's a domesticated animal. Cows are not domesticated. They're livestock. Domesticated for me, and again, it's my definition. I'm not looking up Webster here, but my definition of domesticated is that they live in my house. They live inside my house. It's not that they are on the back 40 in their barn. That's not domesticated to me. Domesticated means that they live with me. They are in my domicile. Like cats, like dogs, like gerbils, like whatever else, birds. You know, those are things that are domesticated. Livestock for me, horses, cows, sheep, llamas, goats, whatever, those aren't domesticated to me. Those are livestock. Well, okay. I understand that there might be a literal difference in definition between domesticated and pet. I get that. But when I use the word domesticated, I mean that they are living in my domicile. Now I'm going to look it up because you guys... Okay. The first definition that came up from the Oxford Language Dictionary: tame and kept as a pet or on a farm. But then in parentheses, in quotes, it has domesticated dogs. So I guess it does mean, but I mean specifically, what does it mean? Oh no, for someone, no. Let's see. Domestication is a multi-general mutualistic relationship between humans and other organisms in which humans took over control and care to obtain, I gotta keep reading that, a steady supply of resources, including food. The process was gradual and geographically diffuse, based on trial and error. The first animal to be domesticated was the dog. As a commensal, at least 15,000 years ago, other animals, including goat, sheep, and cow, were domesticated starting around 11,000 years ago. Among birds, the chicken was domesticated in East Asia, seemingly for cockfighting, some 7,000 years ago. The horse came under domestication around 5,500 years ago in Central Asia as a working animal. Sorry, Jesse is calling. Let me answer that real quick. I'm going to turn my mic off. All right, now I'm back. She was just calling to say hi. Her first question was, "You're not doing a live, are you?" I was like, "I am doing a live." She was like, "Okay, I was just calling to say hi." So, okay, fine. Domestication can mean pets and or livestock. But for me, domestication is much more about pets, because they are living with you. Livestock is a different category within domestication. I'll give you that, but it is different. In the wild as prefix. Farming is man-made. Cool. All right. Livestock are domesticated animals, though. Okay. Gotcha. I'll give you that, like I said. I will say wood for sheep is still not normal. Domestication is different from pet. Yeah, both are domesticated. Nature equals natural. Onitama, way of the wind doesn't count. I wasn't even going to entertain that thought. OneGod777, thank you for that $5. I appreciate you, sir. Or madam. I still don't know if you're a dude or a girl. So I will just say thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. And I won't do anything of that. Well, that's interesting. You know, I might have to restrict yourself to natural processes. Okay. Well, I would agree with that, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But at the very least, this has been informative, because it gives me at least another... are we counting mythical nature? Pixies, fairies, Kodama, and the like. Maybe power plants would be considered in that case. No, I wasn't really thinking about entering into that mythical realm of nature. I wasn't going to enter into that. The moral, every game is a nature-themed game. No, that's not true. I don't agree with that. Wrong. I have a friend who shares his house with a mini horse. A mini horse in the house? That's wild. That's why it should be considered nature-themed. I'm just kidding. I think you need to define nature to define nature-themed games. All man. Okay. Thank you, OneGod777. Appreciate that. What the heck is going on in here? Oh man, dude, you you walked into the conversation at the wrong time, brother. That's funny. We are having a discussion as to what should or should not be included in nature-themed games. So I'm doing my homework while I'm making a video. I'm multitasking, my good man. Nature people. Yep, that is it. That's funny. Dang. Well, I was about to head on out, because it has been 2 hours, and I do have work I need to do. Inmates running the asylum. That's exactly what's going on in here, Eric. Bunch of crazies. That's funny. I think I would say nature is natural, and I define that as lacking humans. I don't know that I'm going to get that close in my definition. I think if it's going to be considered for part of my list, it's going to have a heavy focus upon nature, nature's beauty, or something to that effect, with minimal human input. I think that's as close as I'm going to get to your definition, Joker. I guess either you guys need to come up with boundaries you agree on. No, we're not going to do that. I think that makes conversation during the recording more fun, and I think having two different interpretations coming into it will provide for more games to be included, or at least thought about, and that will give a wider swath to work with. So we're not going to come to a mutually beneficial agreement or anything like that. We're just going to have our own interpretations, and we'll talk about that on the actual thing. Rage is natural. Yeah, I see where you're going with that, David. But no, that's not going to be on the list.
I didn't get that.
Oh, be quiet. No, I can't try again. You be quiet. We know where Brian Drake landed with So Clever on his list. Oh, Brian Drake was it, so not Joey. All right, that's funny. That's funny. Not Gaia Project. Yeah, I wouldn't go with Gaia Project either. Keep dragging this out, folks. I have to do yard work when the stream is over. I have to do work too. I got to go edit, so I'm ending it. We're out of here. You go do your yard work, David. I got to do my editing work. So there you have it. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, everybody. Come back tomorrow for our live play. Don't know exactly what it's going to be just yet, but we're going to be playing something around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Pacific time. That'll make it around 4 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care. Have a great day.